Alright, hopefully you are fresh off that developer insight because now we get the kit reveal for Fifth Brother, the pirate looking guy. So let's get it. The first one is a basic ability is called I Shall Go Alone. Stands there with his lightsaber off and then vicious out of nowhere, boom, spinning and kind of cool. I don't know how strong this really is though. It looks like it barely does anything to Plo Koon. Anyhow, final text. Deal special damage to target enemy. If the enemy is debuffed, inflict a stack of purge. If the enemy is a Jedi, inflict another stack of purge. Inflict tenacity down for 2 turns. These debuffs can't be resisted. Special 1. The kill is mine. Well, that was weird and cool at the same time. Turns it on, it hits him, and it kind of goes slow and like wants to hit Jedi Consular. Look at that. Anyhow, final text. Dispel all buffs, inflict defense down for 2 turns, and then deal special damage to all enemies. Inflict a stack of purge to all enemies. If the target already had purge, inflict expose for 2 turns. Grant all allies potency up for 2 turns. These debuffs can't be resisted. Man, the phrasing on this is kind of weird. Like, grant all inflict expose for 2 turns. Grant all allies potency up for 2 turns. Can't they just make this like one long sentence, you know what I mean? Inflict expose and grant all allies potency up for 2 turns. Oh, it's right there too. Inflict defense down for 2 turns. Like, the phrasing. Shrouded in darkness. It has a Zeta. Let's see what happens. Oh, it's like a force move. Wow, it looks so pathetic. That's it? That looks so wussy. He's like, hey, high five. Oh, we missed. Final text. Deal special damage to target enemy and inflict vulnerable for 2 turns. No, don't tell me it's going to be more 2 turns nonsense. For each stack of purge on the target, all Inquisitorious allies gain 10% protection up, stacking. That's spelled wrong, right? Yeah, that's staking. Where's the C at, bro? Staking for 2 turns. If the Jedi has at least 3 stacks of purge, gain damage immunity for 1 turn, stun target for 1 turn, and if the enemy was a Jedi, inflict fear on all non-Jedi enemies for 1 turn. Well, that's weird. Fear's on... It says if the enemy was Jedi, so you think there's going to be something against Jedi, and it's nope. All non-Jedi enemies. Oh, okay. Which can't be copied, dispelled, evaded, or resisted. Well, they added something. Evaded is never there. Huh, that's cool. Leader. I sense those we seek. Final text. Empire allies gain 5% defense and max health. Whoop-dee. Inquisitorious allies gain an additional 30% defense and max health. So 35. If the enemy leader is a Jedi, inflict a stack of purge on the leader and all non-Jedi enemies at the start of battle, stacking max 6. Which can't be resisted, and whenever purge is consumed or dispelled on non-Jedi enemies, excluding Galactic Legends, they lose 3% speed, stacking max 18%. For the rest of the encounter, whenever an ally Inquisitor uses a special ability, apply a stack of purge on target enemy, which can't be evaded or resisted. Okay. While in Territory Wars, if the enemy leader is a Jedi, excluding Galactic Legends, Jedi leader abilities that grant bonus speed to non-Jedi allies additionally remove 70 speed. And whenever a non-Jedi enemy gains retribution, dispel retribution and instead inflict expose for 2 turns, which can't be resisted. Whenever an enemy gains bonus turn meter, Inquisitorious allies gain 15% turn meter, limit once per turn. Yeah, that's a crappy Omicron, seriously. Unique. Huh. A new target. Final text. At the start of battle, if all allies are Inquisitorious, Fifth Brother has a plus 100% counter chance. Recover 5% health and protection whenever an enemy attacks out of turn. If the enemy leader is a Jedi. Whenever a non-Jedi enemy gains bonus turn meter, inflict provoked on them for 1 turn, which can't be resisted. Okay, there's a comma there. If the enemy leader... Whenever an enemy attacks out of turn. It should be a period and then capital I, not a comma. That's like a weird one-on sentence now. There's a lot of grammatical errors in there. Meathead is not as on point as Dojo was. Anyways, inflict provoke on them for 1 turn, which can't be resisted. Whenever a Jedi uses a basic ability during their turn, they are inflicted with breach at the end of their turn for 2 turns. Breach? That's like a ship thing. Now characters can get that? Or is that a typo again? Basic ability, jeez. You know, a lot of these things sound cool, but it's always with a leader has to be a Jedi and the team is non-Jedi. So otherwise, it's like half this stuff is irrelevant if you're going up against non-Jedi or Jedi with a full team of Jedi. You know what I mean? Like, it sounds good, but with the caveat, well, as long as you're following these rules. Anyways, provoked. Plus 100% counter chance. This character deals 90% less damage when attacking out of turn. Whenever this character attacks out of turn, it takes damage equal to 15% of his max health. This damage can't defeat enemies. Ooh, so that's kind of like a Traya lead, which works fantastically against Geos because they kind of kill themselves every time they go. And then by the time it's your turn, they have like a tiny little red bar left and then hit dead, hit dead, hit dead, hit dead. Well, this is different. They got a little facts section here. On his second special, is it just the fear that can't be copied, dispelled, evaded, resisted, or does that clause extend to the stun he inflicts or the damage immunity he gives himself? Only fear is. Like, this clause doesn't apply to the other things. On his unique ability, does he regain health and protection from enemies attacking out of turn if the enemy leader isn't Jedi? He gains health and protection whenever any enemy attacks out of turn. Okay, that's cool. Can provoked be dispelled? And is it coded as the opposite of retribution for things like GK and Baze reversing buffs to buffs? Yes, it can be dispelled, and no, it's not the opposite of retribution. Obligatory first recognized. Oh. Do I really want to read this? Seems kind of boring. What's this about? If the enemy leader is a Jedi, apply to recover 5% health. Blah. Shit, this guy was made to counter Shack lead clones, and my god, does he counter her hard. 2 forms of speed reductions, a lot of unresistible debuffs, reducing attack damage by 90%, max health base damage, and a tenacity down on basic. Well, it's not just Shack T. Yeah, I suppose it really works against Shack T, but it would work with gas too. Just maybe not as effectively, but still. Yeah, first reaction was this is it's a counter. There's a massive hard counter to Shack clone. She's gonna get smoked. Type on the protection up staking for 2 turns. Mid-Quistator. Great, a counter Shack clones. We did that, right? No, we didn't. Shack clones, that is a good team when you are controlling it. But to go up against it, if it's like an AI control team, it's super simple. So no, that's dumb. We didn't need that. Who was ever complaining about Shack T with the clones anyways? Nobody. And although Shack T does work very well with the clones, nobody even uses her for the clones. They use gas. So, like, this is mega pointless. I mean, Kat isn't a Jedi that falls under the Jedi lead quite often, and she happens to attack out of turn quite consistently as well. That's true. Kat, forgot about her. Yeah, we do. No, we don't. I just thought, while the Ami is not going to be useful in this scenario, he could also counter gas lead with clones, reducing speed on all clones, damaging them severely through attacks, and 501st tends to dispel debuffs quite frequently and fast, so the purge removal will cripple them quite a bit. Not as strong as versus Shack lead clones, but still a considerable option. We definitely need live testing for this. That's what I'm saying. It's not even... It doesn't even matter if this is for Shack. Like I said, nobody uses Shack. I feel like I'm an oddball because I actually do use Shack T in the Grand Arena. Mostly it's because I didn't have gas beefed up enough, and I don't have all the 501st beefed up. So when I use Shack, I use the 2 I do have, and then I throw in Clone Sergeant and some other random character just because, I don't know, it's what I have. But it works out great for me. But I feel like nobody does that. Everybody just uses gas. So this counter is stupid, kinda. They wouldn't get the speed reduction because gas lead doesn't grant them speed. I know it doesn't, but still. It's all from Rex's unique. Why these Inquisitors are supposed to be so powerful against Jedi is beyond me. Well, it's because of the lore. The Inquisitors came around after Order 66 and stuff. And they are force sensitive, and because of Order 66, it's almost like if you were discovered, even if you were a Jedi, if you want to stay alive and stuff, you would just join the Empire, and then there you go, now you're doing this. But at the end of the day, they're not even that strong against the Jedi. Like their whole point is to be strong, but like their kids still suck. Like, okay, yeah, it's aimed at hating Jedi, but it's not like super OP. Like, oh my god, these Jedi aren't going to stand a chance. Maybe in future they'll add Kyber Crystal to upgrade the Jedi Beyond Legends. Huh? Then you'll be glad to have the right Inquisitors in your contact list. Jedi Beyond Legends. What are you talking about? I assume this is the royal we, dude. What? I assume this is the royal we? What does that mean? There we go. GK gives out retribution regularly to any team he is on as well, not just a Shaq counter. Interesting, this Inquisitor does not strip purge off the enemies, which I thought was always a problem with the earlier Inquisitors. You build up the purges and they disappear. This squad needs a spreadsheet to understand the interactions. Well, I suppose there's that part of it then. Man, if you could like stay at CG forever, that'd be great. This level of communication has been a breath of fresh air. Thanks a lot. Thanks. The thing about Inquisitors are that they specialize in hunting Jedi, so it makes sense their kills reflect that. His whole purpose was to hunt down and kill Jedi. Once they thought the Jedi were eradicated, the Inquisitors disbanded. I just wish they would work at least a wee bit better with other Empire characters except the Inquisitorius. I can see small viability for plug and play with any team facing Shaq plus clones. As far as I understand, the part of his unique that grants provoked on enemies should work on any lineup. You would only miss the 100% counter chance without the Inquisitors. I was hoping to see what the unique ability all Inquisitor units was going to get added to the kits, but I guess that will happen later with the simultaneous release of Grand Inquisitor. That's what I was assuming off the bat. I don't know why you thought otherwise. Anyway, so yeah, there you go. Fifth Brother's kit. It's another one that they try to make sound juicy, but when you really stop and think about it, yeah, they're not. These Inquisitorius suck. Which sucks, because Inquisitorius are kind of cool. They got sick lightsabers. They're a cool faction, but just not very on point. Oh well, that's all. So yeah, if you saw this whole thing with me, thanks. I know I'm boring, and it is what it is, I guess. So yeah, until next time, I said see ya.